YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy Black Couch Booking here with another video. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you're old to the channel, please watch all of my old videos in their entirety. I got something brand new for you guys today, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. Your boy's doing a tier list of the 2024 WWE roster. Now, I don't have everyone up here, but I damn near got everybody up here, man. And before we get started, man, this is my opinion. I took one of these tiers from if you just go to tier list and type in WWE roster, somebody made the little tiers on the side, and I just put the people in, those places. So if you agree, cool. If you don't agree, still cool. We all have a difference of opinion. Now, this is my opinion, and I do have a metric system for how I put certain people in certain places, and I will try to explain each and every one of these people and keep it, not too long. So, let's like and subscribe, and let's comment some W's in the comment section before we get started. But let's start at the bottom. And also, if you see it activate Windows on the right side of my computer, I lost the product key. So, and I'm not about to go through the trouble of trying to get it. I genuinely don't care. So let's just do that. So Forgetful. Now, these superstars are superstars that, in 5 to 10 years, I feel like people might not really be talking about if they're not signed with the company or they're just not doing anything as of right now. Obviously, for me, these people could move up. And let me say that I do like most of the people that's on this entire list, but I had to put them in a category, and we just got to be we got to be objective. So we got AOP. I think AOP is Forgetful. I mean, even when they came back, people was like, "Oh, I remember those guys. They're the guys from NXT, and they was on Raw, right? Were they on Raw?" Like, I think AOP is Forgetful. I think Cruz and Wild are Forgetful now because of what they're doing in LWO, which is absolutely nothing. Like, they're the tag team in the LWO, but Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee were in tag team matches. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Humberto and Angel Garza I got here as well. I really think they're actually good, and now that I'm thinking about it, I might move them up to Jobber, but as of right now, I still got them as Forgetful. Blair Davenport, this is the first time we've seen Blair Davenport in a long time in a triple threat match, and she took the pin anyway. I think Blair Davenport had a potential to be really, really good, but I think WWE is really missing the mark with her, and I really wish that they would actually do something, of noteworthy with her. Giovanni Vinci, man. All that repackaging and all that just to be a clown gimmick, then lose to Apollo Crews, and now we don't see Giovanni Vinci at all. So I think Giovanni Vinci is going to be Forgetful. They're going to repackage him again, maybe, but let's just wait and see what happens. Ashante the Adonis, his new gimmick is he's the Riz God. It's cool for NXT and it'll be cool to watch, but eventually I think Ashante will get released from the company and go wrestle somewhere else and make a name for himself. Electra Lopez, she's supposed to be the mouthpiece for Legado del Fantasma, but Santos Escobar is doing all the talking. So really she has no value with the group as of right now. She is getting called out by LA Knight. Duke Hudson from Chase U and the other Chase U, well, former Chase U guys. I think Duke Hudson is someone who could do something on his own and get over. But as of right now, he's just the other guy in Chase U. He's not the main guy. Omos, somebody put out an APB for Omos. Sean Spears, now he's back on TV. He's back on NXT. He's probably going to get a shot at Tony D'Angelo, which is cool. And I actually like Sean Spears. I liked him when he was Ty Dillinger as well. Perfect 10 stuff was all right. But he hasn't had something that would stick with him to the point where it's something that we'll remember moving forward. Let's go to Jobber. Dragon Lee, man, everybody was so high on Dragon Lee when he was in NXT, man. Everybody was saying he's the next Rey Mysterio, and that is a curse. You never want to be the next Rey Mysterio. You need to avoid that as much as you possibly can. And now he's a speed champion. I mean, it is what it is, man. I think Dragon Lee still can do something, but he gotta get away from Rey Mysterio. Maxine Dupree, jobber, but she's a fun jobber. Just because I've had these people in the jobber category doesn't mean I think they suck. It just means that they're in a position where they're not, they're not doing anything of too much significance. They might be in a storyline or it might be on TV here and there, but you're not really paying attention to them. You might be paying attention to what they're a part of, which I will get to as you see down the list. Otis, same thing. And Kara Tozawa, same thing. They're jobbers as of right now. They don't even really be wrestling that much anymore. Maxine probably wrestles more than Otis and Akira Tozawa do. They just do backstage stuff and make people laugh. These two suck for me. Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae, man. Shayna Baszler was really supposed to be on Rhea Ripley's level, just like Raquel Rodriguez was supposed to as well. But Shayna Baszler is looking really, really bad. And now that I look, I do have Raquel Rodriguez on there as well. They the potential should be way more than what it was. I think Shayna Baszler is still someone who could be repackaged to be better as Raquel Rodriguez as well, but both of them are really suffering from being a part of bad storylines. And Candice LeRae, she's just the fifth one in the War Games match. She's just the side piece for Nia Jackson, Tiffany Stratton. I think Candice LeRae is better than that. I think her not having Indy Hartwell is messing up what she's supposed to be. I think her and Indy Hartwell could have did something really, really good, but WWE ain't pulled the trigger on that. Pretty deadly of jobbers, man. When they first came to the main roster, people were actually interested in them, but now they're just there and they're losing, and and they can't even get any burn off of Nia Jackson, Tiffany Stratton, which they should have just put them with them. They would have done something of significance, but either way, they're still jobbers to me. Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy, I like that they're part of the YS6, but they're like the afterthought. You know what I'm saying? It's really about Uncle Howdy. And I even say people are more interested in Nikki Cross's Abby the Witch, but they're jobbers as of right now, but at least they're part of a storyline that's actually getting some TV time. But that's why I'll put them a step above AOP, because I think people will still remember Joe Gacy from what he did in NXT with The Rock's daughter, and then what Dexter Loomis did in NXT with Indy Hartwell and The Way. Cora Jade, this one sucks too. Cora Jade, she just got back, so I'm gonna give her a little bit of grace. She got to get, make sure her knees and stuff, her legs is good, but since she started NXT, she really hasn't done anything of significance. And she was NXT Tag Team Champion with Roxanne Perez, but never became NXT Women's Champion. And she's been hurt a lot, so I really think she can move up to solid worker, but it's a lot of things she got to catch up on. She should be on the same level as the Tiffany Strattons and the Roxanne Perez's, but she's not there. Cedric Alexander, same thing. The stuff with the Hurt Business was a highlight of his career, but obviously that didn't last long. But he's just a jobber on NXT at this point in time, so it is what it is. I like Cedric Alexander to a certain extent, but I don't. I let me talk to Apollo Crews as well while we're right here. These are two guys who they're serviceable in the ring, but nothing you do is gonna get you to really care. Like the Nigerian Prince thing was dumb for Apollo Crews. I'm sorry, and it is what it is, man. B-Fab jobber right now, but that match that she had really showed that she can do in-ring stuff, but they're going to leave her to being a valet, and if she ever does in-ring stuff, it'll be because the Street Profits are going to get another stable that has a woman a part of them, so she won't really get the opportunity to just wrestle as a solo star, which I think she should get that opportunity because she can talk on the mic. Nikita Lyons is also a jobber. Now, y'all about to say no, but just because you think she's sexy and she's thick, that doesn't mean that she's a solid worker. When I go up to the solid workers, you tell me if she's better than anybody on that list. And I think Nikita Lyons could be better, but she has to work on some things that might be physical. Like she uses her legs, she uses striking, and she's a bigger woman. She might need to be on some Zion Williamson type flow and lose weight, not because she's fat, but because you don't want her to keep getting injured. That's a lot of thickness to be carrying on them damn knees. Thea Hale and Andre Chase are more valuable than the other members of Chase U. I like Thea Hale a lot. I think she could be better than Maxine Dupree. So we're gonna see what happens. American Made is the afterthought. Chad Gable is the real star, but I think that Chad Gable can elevate them. Check out the video that came out earlier today, because this video should be coming out the same day that I think Chad Gable is elevating them and will elevate them to make you actually care. And Ivy now, she needs to be challenging for the United States Women's Championship. That's a missed opportunity. Ava, as a GM, is a jobber right now, but she's done some good work, and I really think she can move up to solid worker as a GM for NXT. Wendy Chu, jobber, but I did like what she did with Tatum Paxley. So Wendy Chu's gimmick isn't a gimmick that's made to be something that's taken seriously. So it is what it is. And this one sucks for me because I love Zoe Stark. But as of right now, being a part of that Pure Fusion stable, she is a jobber because she hasn't done much on the main roster. The stuff with Trish Stratus was what I thought was going to catapult her to another level, but it really didn't, which is sad. But I'm actually teetering between solid worker and jobber for that. Gigi Dolan is a jobber. Just pair it with Austin Theory. Let them do what they did in Evolve. I don't understand why they didn't do that already. Rizzo, she's growing on me. Kiana Jane is injured, so I can't really judge her too harshly. And the War Raiders, I never liked the War Raiders, but we'll see what happens if they win the tag team championships, and that's going to elevate them for me. But yeah, man. So let's move on. All right. Now we're on solid workers. Now some of these can be moved up to will be remembered, but the only reason why they're not is because the people on will be remembered have done things of significance that will actually make you remember them. And solid workers isn't a bad thing. Like Bronson Reed is a solid worker, but I think he can easily move up to will be remembered after what happens with the war games and what happens with the what's it called, the rivalry with Seth Rollins and, hey, maybe even CM Punk. So I think Bronson Reed will move up, just like I think Grayson Waller will move up. Put Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in a rivalry, a legit rivalry, and I think that will be meaningful for both of their careers. So let's see what happens with that, guys. As I'm filming this video, the premiere for the Chad Gable video, I just joined it, so that's why I'm looking down at my phone. But y'all see, man, I'm working in real time, man. I'm doing these things like I'm active. You feel me? So let me put that down. See how many of y'all is watching the premiere. Angelo Dawkins, this one is going to rub people the wrong way. I think Angelo Dawkins is a solid worker. I like his in-ring stuff, and I like what he's done as of late, showing a little bit more aggression. But for him to move up to will be remembered, he's going to have to do a little bit more. So I'm going to keep my eye out for Angelo Dawkins, though. He could easily move up, but I'm going to tell you why the other Street Profits member is up there. He's not. JD McDonough is not a jobber. I think JD McDonough is really solid. I like the work that he's done in the ring and what he's done to add value to the Judgment Day. I actually liked him as the other member of the Judgment Day when they added him first. So I think JD McDonough is a lot better than what people give him credit for. Kairi Sane, I think Kairi Sane is a solid worker. The reason why I don't have her as will be remembered yet, as of yet, is because I think her counterparts are better than her in every way possible. That's just my opinion. Karrion Kross is a solid worker. He needs to get over with this YS6 situation, and then he will be moved up to will be remembered. And easily I could move him up to will be remembered off of what he did in NXT if I really wanted to. Miss Valkyria, she just don't have anything to do, but she's solid and she can wrestle. She just needs a better character, better everything, and I think she will be moved up as well. Mia Yim is a solid worker. I love Mia Yim a lot. I really, really do. But she might not ever get anything of significance unless she wins the Women's United States Championship, in which I don't know if they're even going to allow her to compete for that as of yet. So we'll see. Tiffany Stratton, I have Tiffany Stratton in solid worker right now, but once she wins the Women's Championship, she will move up. I just have her as solid worker right now because I don't know what's going to go on as far as the gimmick in a few years with the character, how she's going to evolve. But I think she will be will be remembered once she wins that Women's Championship, because she's going to be one of the youngest women to ever win the Women's Championship, if I believe. So I think she'll be up there. Shotzi, I love Shotzi a lot. Shotzi's one of my favorite women's wrestlers, but she's a solid worker for sure. You know, when she was going crazy at one point in time, she's a part of the women's war game. She was doing some good stuff, and then they just stopped doing stuff with her. Trick Williams is here because I want to see what he does on the main roster. His run as NXT Men's Champion has been, his run to the rise of being NXT Men's Champion has been memorable, but he hasn't had any opponents that could make him like, oh, that was a great rivalry between him and such and such. So that's why I have him right here and not in will be remembered. And I do have other people that are currently in NXT as will be remembered. Dakota Kai, solid worker. You know, most of her claim to fame is betraying people. Santos Escobar, solid worker, but he hasn't been getting anything of significance. Piper Niven, solid worker. You know, we'll see what happens with her. Nikki Cross, solid worker. She was, you know, a women's champion as Nikki ASH, but the run wasn't all that. And I really think that, you know, a couple of people will remember her, but when all said and done, you say she was a solid worker. She done some great stuff with Alexa Bliss, and she's doing cool stuff with Y6. Lola Vice, my Miami princess. Is she from Miami? Probably not. I don't know. Lola Vice, solid worker right now. I think she can improve. Katana and Kaden, solid workers. I like what they've done for the women's tag team division in NXT and on the main roster, but they just don't get a chance to wrestle a lot. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, I have them as solid workers because I don't see them getting over on the main roster like they were over in NXT, but I respect the accomplishments for the black and gold. Dragunov, solid worker because he hasn't been given the opportunity. He will definitely be and will be remembered, as will Ludwig Kaiser, after we see what happens, for him going after the IC belt, hopefully. And even if he doesn't win it, I think whatever he does with Braun Breaker will catapult him to will be remembered. Tatum Paxley, she just needs stuff to do. Tatum Paxley is really, really good. And she just, even the stuff with Wendy Chu was really good, but they need to elevate her. I think Kalani Jordan, as soon as those promos drastically improve, I'm telling you, she's going to be and will be remembered. And maybe she might be in Hall of Fame status later on down the line of her career. I know it's very early to tell, but I can see the potential. The Tongas are really good, man. Even the botched Tonga. He's leaning into that stuff now. So I figure whatever he does, if he does something, he's doing it on purpose. So I give him a little bit of grace. But both of them are good as a tag team. And I actually enjoyed them as tag team champions. Fallon Henley, same thing. She's pretty good. I'm happy she won the NXT North American Women's Championship to elevate her, and let's see what happens. Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, definitely a solid worker, man. The YS6 stuff, I think they took a little bit too much of a break with it in between what happened with American Made and now, but I want to see what happens. Jada Parker, definitely a solid worker, man. She's one of the most natural women talkers, and she convinces me. Javon Evans, man, what can I say? He might be and will be remembered within the next 2 years. Lash Legend, Cara Jackson, they elevated themselves from jobbers to solid worker. The stuff with the metaphor, I wasn't really feeling it, but them as just a women's tag team is sensational, and I like them a lot. Sonya Deville, her mouthpiece alone keeps her a solid worker, but that pure fusion stuff might bring her down. Pete Dunne, always been great. I loved his stuff at NXT, and he's one of the greatest NXT UK people ever. And Pete Dunne is great. Ethan Page is elevated to a solid worker. Yeah, man. I mean, what can I say? He's pretty damn good to me. I mean, I used to hate on Ethan Page, but he helped Trick Williams get some notoriety with his championship run. So shout out to Ethan Page. Tony D'Angelo, solid. Whatever. Scarlett is solid because just off of what she did for Karen Cross at NXT, but she is very close to being jobber. Wesley, solid, could easily be and will be remembered. He's one of the greatest NXT North American champions ever. So Ruka, solid. I like her a lot. JC Jane is solid. She's done way more than Gigi Dolan has, and she got way more attention and way more notoriety. So I'm gonna give JC Jane solid worker. Shout out to JC Jane. Unholy Union, solid workers, man. I think they're both really talented. Obviously, before Alpha Fire, she was Kaylee Ray. She was killing it, and I think that I want her to see her return to form as a solo star one day. Ridge Holland was a jobber, but he's been showing up in NXT. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, they're solid workers because that tag team shouldn't even work as well as it does, and it works very well. So shout out to them. All right, y'all. Let me try to speed it up for y'all a little bit, man. Y'all don't have an attention span, really. Will be remembered. Xavier Woods is in will be remembered and not Hall of Famer. I struggle with this one because I do think he will be in the Hall of Fame with New Day as a tag team and as a faction. But for right now, I'm gonna put him in will be remembered just because of his solo accomplishments and things. When you look at him as an individual, he will be remembered for sure because he is part of the New Day. But is he on the New Day's level as far as accomplishments? I don't know. But obviously, you could get into the Hall of Fame as a tag teamer. So I actually changing my thought process, and I'm putting Xavier Woods in Hall of Famer. I'm not gonna move him, but just know that I am. Andrade, he will be remembered. Great run as NXT champion, great run as United States champion. Done some great stuff with Zelina Vega, and he's had great matches since he's come back. But at the end of the day, might not ever be world champion in WWE, but he will be remembered just off his accomplishments, just like Shinsuke Nakamura will be remembered. Might not be a Hall of Famer in WWE, but I mean, both of these guys are renowned around the world, and their contribution to WWE is still significant. Damian Priest will for sure be remembered. You know, one of the fastest rising. You know, he has some solid runs as a mid card champion as well, and he has some solid runs at NXT. So I think Damian Priest is a force that's here to stay. And Dominic Mysterio, a guy who's been in the business since he was a young boy, of course he'll be remembered. We remember him as the kid with the PSP, and now we'll remember him as one of the best heels in the modern day wrestling. Chad Gable, the guy who I'm watching the premiere right now. A couple of y'all, I see y'all in the premiere, will be remembered just because of his in-ring skill, I believe. He didn't win a lot of championships and things of that nature, but people remember Chad Gable. I don't think he'll be an afterthought. I think he'll be one of the most underrated and most missed opportunities. Liv Morgan, Liv Morgan, I don't have her in Hall of Famer as of yet. I think after this reign, one more title reign, and maybe another women's tag team championship reign, we'll definitely have her up there. But but even for her to make it this far, as in comparison to her other members of the Riot Squad, it's a hell of an accomplishment for Liv Morgan. Carlito should be a Hall of Famer. I just don't know what direction they're going to go in. Are they going to acknowledge his old accomplishments and put him in the Hall of Fame? I'm not sure, but I would put him in the Hall of Fame. But I'll just put him here because I don't know about WWE. And this similar with Finn Balor, honestly. I think Finn Balor could be a Hall of Fame career. He was the first, right, undisputed champion, but I just don't know, man. It's a tough one. Chelsea Green definitely will be remembered. Chelsea Green is one of the most decorated women's wrestlers out there. Not just what she done in WWE, but the stuff with Lucha Underground and all over the world. So she should be remembered, and she's killing it right now. Jacob Fatu, very early in his career, but he will be remembered. Jacob Fatu got that aura, he got that thing about him, and once they start letting him talk, I promise you, he will be on a different level. Kevin Owens, he should be a Hall of Famer. I might move Kevin Owens to Hall of Famer and Naomi. So I'm gonna put Naomi and Kevin Owens in the Hall of Famer. Naomi has a Hall of Fame career, as does Kevin Owens. I think I just put them there just now because for Naomi, I don't know how WWE is going to treat her. I mean, she's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm sure they're not going to be that petty, but we'll see. But shout out to Kevin Owens as well. He should be in the Hall of Fame, so I will move those two up. So Sikoa will be remembered, one of the youngest in the family, and he's killing it right now, in my opinion. I love the new bloodline. I don't know, they're supposed to be heels, they're supposed to be cringy, you're supposed to hate them, but I like the new bloodline. Zelina Vega will be remembered not only for her mic skills, but her in-ring work is really, really good. She'll be remembered for being the stuff she does outside of the WWE as well. And Zelina Vega is a fan favorite that people want to get over, so I think she'll be remembered. And now this is very early, but I have Julia and Stephanie Valkyrie as will be remembered, in my opinion. That's just me. Is Stephanie Valkyrie on here? If she's not on here, that's because they didn't have her, but I'm putting Stephanie Valkyrie right with Julia. I think that it's early on, but they're so talented and they're so good that I promise you they will be remembered, and they're going to be on a different level. Carmella will be remembered. Wasn't she the first women's Money in the Bank winner? I like the way she was when she was the champion. I actually enjoyed Carmella's SmackDown Women's Championship run, and the stuff with James Ellsworth was cool. Roxanne and Obafemi, they're in NXT, but they will be remembered because their NXT runs are so significant that that's just something that's going to stay with their career forever. Now, these guys aren't necessarily wrestlers per se, but Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, and Byron Saxton. I like all three of them. I like Byron Saxton better than Coach, and Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce as GMs have been killing it. Braun Strowman will be remembered for sure. That's easy. Former champion. Stuff with the Wyatt family. I mean, why wouldn't he? Stuff with Alexa Bliss. I think Braun Strowman is he's not giving his flowers. I have Montez Ford as will be remembered over Angelo Dawkins because Montez Ford has done things as a solo star, compete in the Elimination Chamber match, competed against Roman Reigns, things of that nature that really elevated him to will be remembered. But he can easily be put back down to solid worker if things don't change for him. But Angelo Dawkins can easily be moved up. LA Knight is LA Knight, man. NXT killed it. Main roster killing it. TNA killing it. And I'm not even talking about TNA, but he will always be remembered for sure. LA Knight is one of the best targets we got right now. Austin Theory, Braun Breaker. So from Austin Theory to Jade Cargill, really, I have them as will be remembered, but I really had them and solid at first because their careers are very early in WWE, especially main roster, including Jade Cargill. However, they've done things of significance to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave them up there, especially Carmelo Hayes. I know he hasn't won a title on the main roster, but like what he did in NXT is very similar to what Obafemi and Roxanne Perez have done as well. One of the greatest NXT North American champions ever. Actually, Carmelo Hayes might be. And then when you look at Jade Cargill, she just got that star power. She's killing it, and people will never forget who she is, especially if she feuds with Bianca Belair. And then Austin Theory and Braun Breaker, two-time, mid-card champions, and Austin Theory also a tag team champion. So I don't know how you can hate on that. Okay, Hall of Famers. AJ Styles, first Battle Hall of Fame, easy. Bayley, first Battle Hall of Fame, easy. One of the greatest, women wrestlers. Cody Rhodes, first Battle Hall of Fame, based off of his accomplishments coming back and his run as Intercontinental Champion as well. Gunther, early on in his career, but he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer off his talent alone. Drew McIntyre should definitely be a Hall of Famer after being shunned from WWE and coming back and reinventing himself and taking over. Big E, for what it's worth, man, he's had a great career. Tag team champion, WWE champion, killer at the NXT. He should definitely be a Hall of Famer. Asuka should be a Hall of Famer despite her win-loss record at pay-per-views and at WrestleMania. She's had a hell of a career. Remember, she went undefeated for a very long time in WWE. The Usos as a tag team should definitely be Hall of Famers, but if you want to throw Jey Uso as a solo Hall of Famer, I could argue that he probably should not be, despite the pop. He's only been IC champion for 28 days, but they're definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame as a tag team, which is why I moved Xavier Woods up to the Hall of Fame as well, because that would be unfair because they have a better Hall of Fame tag team career than the Usos. Io Sky is going to be a Hall of Famer, mark my words. It might feel like it's early on in her career, but I think Io Sky is going to be up there. Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, they certified Hall of Famers. They're going to be Hall of Fame. The Stone Cold and The Rock of the WWE. Nia Jax should be a Hall of Famer. She's done a lot. She's improved drastically. She won Queen of the Ring. She's been a multi-time women's champion, and she's had some good matches over the course of her years. You guys need to move on and leave the past in the past. Like I said, Kofi, easy. As a solo star and as a tag team champion, Kofi has a lot of accomplishments people don't acknowledge. R-Truth will be a Hall of Famer for not only longevity, but he has done some things in WWE that have warranted him to be a Hall of Famer, and just over the course of his life as the first Black NWA champion and things of that nature. Natalya, she's a Hall of Famer just like The Miz. Natalya has done a lot for the women's wrestling. Miz is definitely in the Hall of Fame. Career that wasn't even supposed to be, man. This guy was doing reality shows and stuff like that, so you got to pay homage to The Miz. Sheamus, Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame career. Even if he never wins the IC belt, he should still be, considered a Hall of Famer. Sami Zayn is a Hall of Famer. Even if he's not my favorite, I respect everything he's done for the business, and I would love for him to be WWE champion one day, just at least one time. William Regal, Hall of Famer, of course, certified. Corey Graves should be a Hall of Fame commentary guy. I love Corey. Did I say Corey? I said Corey Graves. I thought I said Corey James. Corey Graves on the mic is certified, and Alexa Bliss is a future Hall of Famer. Great character work, great run, even as the I'm about to call the Empress, the goddess, and with Bray Wyatt, she did some great things. And now the GOAT debate. The Rock definitely in the GOAT debate. John Cena definitely in the GOAT debate. Randy Orton definitely in the GOAT debate. Rey Mysterio, you guys might not believe this, but a lot of people love Rey Mysterio and think he's one of the greatest of all time, so he should be in that debate. CM Punk's a lot of people's GOAT, and even though I don't think he should be in the GOAT debate, I acknowledge that, for a lot of people he is in that conversation. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, I was teetering back and forth between. I had Seth Rollins as a certified Hall of Famer, but I think Seth Rollins could be considered a GOAT based off of his career thus far, and Roman Reigns is definitely going to be considered a GOAT. He was considered a GOAT even early on the Tribal Chief run. Becky Lynch is one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. She should definitely be in the GOAT debate. Paul Heyman should be in the GOAT debate as a manager. Charlotte Flair definitely got to be in the GOAT debate. It's Charlotte Flair. Come on now, one of the most decorated women's champions. Lita and Trish Stratus should for sure be in the GOAT debate, in my opinion, for women. I would take Lita, me personally, over Trish Stratus, but Trish Stratus has done a lot. And then these three, Booker T and Triple H, they should be in the GOAT debate for the airing accomplishments and just being a part of the company as well. Booker T is killing it in NXT as a commentator, and Triple H, man, for what it's worth, he took over the company and he's running creative right now. And whether you like his booking or not, that's some GOAT level stuff right there. So to be a wrestler and now you run the thing, that's cool. And Michael Cole on commentary should definitely be in the GOAT debate. He is up there with JR, Jerry the King Lawler. Michael Cole has been a stable for WWE for many, many years, and I think he should be treated with that respect that he should be in the GOAT debate as a commentator. But y'all, that's my tier list. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for love support as always. Hopefully this video isn't too long. I really appreciate, everything, you guys have done for me thus far, and I hope you guys, have a great day. Peace.